Hello, everyone. Today I'm delighted to speak to you about the influential figure John Dewey, whose impact on education has shaped the way we understand learning and teaching. In this speech, we will dive into Dewey's biography, explore his educational impact, and simplify some of his key ideas. John Dewey, born in 1859, was an American philosopher, psychologist, and educational reformer. Growing up in Vermont, Dewey witnessed the changes brought about by the Industrial Revolution, which greatly influenced his views on education. He attended the University of Vermont and later earned his doctorate in philosophy from Johns Hopkins University. Dewey's early career was marked by his work as a professor and his involvement in educational reform. He believed in the practical application of knowledge and the importance of hands on experience. Dewey's philosophy was deeply rooted in the idea that education should prepare individuals for active participation in a democratic society. Dewey's impact on education was revolutionary. He challenged the traditional, rigid education system of his time, advocating for a more dynamic and student centered approach. Dewey believed that education should not just be about acquiring facts, but should also focus on fostering critical thinking, problem solving, and a love for lifelong learning. One of Dewey's significant contributions was the establishment of laboratory school at the University of Chicago in 1896. This experimental school aimed to put his educational theory into practice. The laboratory school emphasized learning through experience, encouraging students to engage with real world problems and apply their knowledge in practical situations. This approach marked a departure from the rote memorization prevalent in traditional education. Dewey's idea gained widespread recognition, and his influence extended beyond the borders of the United States. His theory formed the basis of progressive education, a movement that sought to make education more relevant to the needs and interests of students. Dewey's impact is still felt today as a modern educational practice increasingly embrace student-centered learning and hands-on experience. Now let's simplify some of Dewey's key ideas so that we can better understand the principles that have shaped education. The first key idea is learning by doing. Dewey emphasized the importance of learning through experience. Instead of just reading about something, he believed that students should actively engage with material. For example, rather than memorizing facts about plants, students should plant seeds, observe their growth, and learn about the process firsthand. The second key was problem solving. Dewey thought that the educational should focus on developing problem-solving skills. He believed that real learning happens when students encounter challenges and work to find solutions. This approach encourages critical thinking and prepares individuals to face the complexity of the world. The third key was interest and relevance. Dewey argued that education should tap into students' interests and connect to their everyday lives. When students see the relevance of what they're learning, it sparks curiosity and motivation. For instance, studying math can involve real-life situations like budgeting or measuring ingredients for a recipe. The fourth key was community and social interaction. Dewey believed in the importance of social interaction in the learning process. He thought that schools should be like mini societies where students learn to collaborate, communicate, and navigate social relationships. This prepares them for active participation in a democratic society. The last key point was continuous learning. Dewey advocated for the idea that learning is a lifelong process. Education shouldn't stop after formal schooling, but should continue throughout one's life. This perspective encouraged a mindset of curiosity and adaptability. John Dewey's impact on education has been profound. His ideas have shaped modern educational practices, moving away from a rigid memorization-focused system to one that values experiential learning, critical thinking, and the development of practical skills. Dewey's legacy lives on in classrooms around the world as educators strive to create learning environment that empowers students to actively engage with the world and become long life learners. Thank you for listening.